Hey y'all, it's me, Teresa, Tequila Talks. Let's make some taco spaghetti. So here are some of the ingredients. We have Mexican cheese, pico de gallo, some garlic, onion, some cream cheese, ground meat, and spaghetti noodles, and taco season. So I just went ahead and put it in the pot or the pan. And then now I'm just going to break it up so that I can brown the ground meat. I have beef here. You can use turkey. I've used it with turkey meat before as well, and it's pretty much the same kind of taste. I mean, yeah, you can taste the difference, but it's not so much of a big difference. But yeah, so right now I'm just grinding up the turkey and making it gray so that we can get ready to put our seasoning on it. So, and I was pulling out some seasoning. Kind of when I'm making this, I use the Uncle Chris steak seasoning. So first I got some garlic powder there. I do not use garlic salt. Garlic salt is too salty. I use garlic powder, and then I use that Uncle Chris steak seasoning. I get those from Kroger's or HEB. So right now I'm just kind of letting the ground meat, brown so that I can add the seasoning to it. I kind of break it up while I'm doing it to kind of help, get all of the meat gray. So that's what I'm showing you guys here. Yeah, so I was like, today I want to do some taco spaghetti. I was gonna do like some regular spaghetti, but lately when I do regular spaghetti, the red sauce has been really just messing with me. So right now you see me putting the seasoning in. Just kind of eye it. I just put the seasoning on top of the meat while it's graying as well. Some people don't do that, but I do it. But yeah, so I was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna try the spaghetti, try a different type of spaghetti, a taco spaghetti. Like, cause I think last week we had chicken spaghetti. I think. I try not to make the same thing, but this week I was like, okay, I'm gonna try some taco spaghetti. So anyway, I had some ground meat from Sam's that I had already let thawed out because again, I was gonna make some regular spaghetti, but I was like, no, let's try something different. So that's what you're seeing me doing is browning the ground meat. Um, when you do taco spaghetti, it's supposed to taste like a taco. So I had some pico that I had in the refrigerator that was already done. I get it from not Sam's. I get it from Kroger's or HEB. The ones that's already chopped up, like the fresh pico, that's what I put in mine. Some people use the diced tomatoes in the can or a rotel dip. The rotel dip that you put in with the con queso dip, like if you were making it with the Velveeta cheese. Yes. So some people use that, but I decided I didn't want to use that. I wanted to use the fresh pico because when you use fresh vegetables, it just really does something to your meal. So you really like if you guys are using like the frozen things. I mean, sometimes it's warranted, right? Okay, if you're trying to hurry up and get through a meal, right? Because I always try to hurry up and get through the meal. Listen, 30 minutes tops, 30 to 45 minutes tops is me in the kitchen. If I'm doing longer than that, it's because it's a holiday or something else is going on. I don't like to be in the kitchen that long. So anyway, I try to use the stuff that's already chopped up, or sometimes I'll chop it up myself, or sometimes I'll ask my daughter to chop it up. But I like the fresh pico. So in this case, when I did the taco spaghetti, I use fresh pico. So you'll see me putting that in there. But again, some people use rotel dip in theirs in the can, or they just use a diced tomato in the can. So you can do whatever your preference is. But again, I like the fresh pico. So right now I'm just kind of grinding, getting the meat gray. It's taking a little while. I usually put myself on high. You could do medium high, but it was taking a little while. In that pot, it takes a little longer. It's kind of like more so of my wok pot kind of type pot. But I use this one because also I didn't boil my noodles separately. So when you're doing this recipe, like after you brown and season your ground meat or your ground turkey, you can put your noodles all in the same pot. So it's really an easy recipe. So anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of just letting it brown. Um and at this time, girl, it was some birds kept coming on my patio. I can't stand them birds because the birds be leaving all they residue afterwards. And they kept going to my patio and making noise and sitting on my furniture. And I kept running to the door and trying to get it off my door. Like, get off my patio. I don't want to keep cleaning that up. So that's what I was doing. I was going back and forth. I was cooking. I wasn't going out there. I was just like going to the door and open the door and then they'll fly away. And I had used this stuff that I got from Home Depot. It's called Critter Ritter. Have y'all ever heard of that? Critter Ritter? Girl, that stuff don't do nothing. Those them birds be back over there like, hey, how you doing? Sometimes, girl, the bird will come sit on the patio on my furniture and look at me through the window like, I'm like, these birds is disrespectful. Like, for real, for real. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing now. You just basically just keep doing it until your meat is all gray. Make sure you get, no red. No red. You don't want to see any red. So you just kind of, that handle was kind of hot. I have one of those pot holders, but I don't know where it was. Anyway, so I just got a piece of napkin. But that handle is really, those handles on those pots are really, really hot. But yeah, so you just keep, stirring and moving it around so that you can get your ground meat gray. I already put the seasoning on top. I use that Uncle Chris and that garlic seasoning on top. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my taco seasoning. So I had some taco seasoning in a pack. You can use any taco season that you like. I had some that I had. You know how they have the taco dinners that be in a box where it has the crispy or the crunchy tacos, and then it has the sauce, and then it also has like a pack of taco seasoning. So yeah, that is what I used on this one. But I usually use, what is it, El Paso or like a Kroger brand. So you can use either one of those to do a taco season. I mean, to use a taco season because you want to use a taco seasoning on this. It's almost like you're making the meat for your tacos. Like, it's basically that same concept. So that's what I'm doing right there is I'm adding it. That taco season said it could be for 2 pounds of meat. So that meat that I have in there is about 2 pounds of meat that I have. So I'm just stirring it up real good. Putting in your seasoning. And just making sure you don't see any red. Make sure all your meat is gray. And then once you do that, you're going to want to add your pico and your onions. Now, the pico that's already diced up and made freshly at Kroger's and HEB, they have onions already in it, but I also add a little bit more onions. So you can see that I only had like a half of a little tray of it. I would use the whole thing. Like after I made it, I was like, man, I needed some more. So I would have used a whole thing of the fresh pico that was already chopped up. And I do add extra onions. I am not an onion person, but it does give a different taste in your meal. So I did add extra onions into this one. And then I like the garlic that's in the jar, either the squeeze one or the one that's in the jar, like extra. I know I already used garlic powder, but I like garlic. And when I'm making food that's like for tacos and stuff like that, Mexican food, I added a little bit of extra garlic. So I added that little minced garlic into that. Maybe like a teaspoon. I don't add a lot, just a teaspoon to give it a little extra little kick to it, because like I said, I've already used the garlic powder. So I was just adding a little kick to it. And I always put a little extra seasoning. I mean, you can kind of eye it. I don't, use any type of measuring things, but I just kind of eye how it looks as far as when it's graying, when the meat is graying. So here we just added our fresh pico. You added some of your onions if you have some chopped onions, and you just add a little bit more seasoning, and you added the minced garlic in the jar, and then we're just stirring it around there. So, and then after you do that, you're going to want to add some water. Okay? And here, if you didn't have the fresh pico, this is where you would add your rotel dip and your diced tomatoes if you had like just a regular can of diced tomatoes. So you either or, but remember I used the fresh pico that was already chopped up from the store. So that's where we put that. But here's where you would add water. I would just add water to it's covering up your meat, and then you're also gonna add your noodles. So you want to make sure that your noodles are submerged in the water. So you can use water or you can use beef broth. But I use water at this instance because I didn't have any, not chicken broth, beef broth. So I use water, okay? And I use bottled water. I don't use the sink water. I either use the refrigerator water or I use bottled water. So I use bottled water at this point. But yes, so you put in 2 packs of noodles. Now, if you got 2 pounds of meat, I use 2 packs of noodles. That's because I'm making a lot so that we can have leftovers. If I'm just doing something easy, then it'll just be 1 pack of noodles and 1 pack of meat. But usually I use 2. Or you can do 1.5. But you make sure that you're submerging your noodles in the water. That's the only way it's going to cook. It's not going to cook right. It's going to be like kind of hard if you don't do it right. So you add that water in there and just make sure that your noodles are under the water, like submerged in there with the meat. Okay. Normally, when you're making spaghetti, I don't know if you guys do it this way, but normally when I'm making spaghetti, I put it in a separate pot. But this time, when you're making taco spaghetti, because you want your noodles to have the same taste as the taco seasoning while it's cooking, you put your noodles in with the meat, with the pico and all that's together. So we'll just put that in there, put your lid on it, and you let it sit for like, I don't know, 15 minutes, maybe 15, 18 minutes, so that your noodles are soft. Just like if you had them in a separate pot by itself and you were boiling your noodles. It's the same concept. So you just want to get your noodles. So here the noodles are soft. They're cooked. We're going to give it a good stir. I had my fire a little bit too hot. I should have lowered it then because baby, that fire suck that water up, baby. Okay, but I would have lowered it a little bit and add some more water. But yeah, you just make you a good stir. See how the noodles are now done and flexy and ready to. Girl, that stuff looks so good. Okay, so here's where you're gonna start adding your cheese. So I I'm giving it a good stir, just like you would do a regular spaghetti. You give it a good stir and mix your meat and your pico and everything together before you add your cheese. So you give it a good stir. After you give it a good stir, you're gonna go ahead and add your cheese. The cheese that I use was the Sargento Mexican style cheese. I also add half a block of cream cheese in mine. So I add the whole bag of Sargento Mexican cheese. I add a half block of cream cheese. Okay. I like cream cheese in mine because when I'm doing my con queso dip with the Velveeta cheese, I also add cream cheese. Some people don't, but I do. So when I'm making a taco, okay, kind of meal, I'm always adding cream cheese in my. I don't know, it just gives it a little creamy taste, like a creamy taste, and it also gives like a creamy look. So that's why I've always added. It just tastes good to me. You should try it. Just don't knock it till you try it, okay? So anyway, you put your cheese in and you're stirring it up real good. Again, that's the Sargento Mexican style shredded cheese, just 1 pack, and you put in your half a block of cream cheese. So I'm just giving a real good stir. I should have added a little bit more water here because it'll also help it melt and also give it, that juicy look. So, but I didn't add any more water there. I was just like, this is enough. So I would have added like just a little bit, maybe just like a cup of water right there, just so that it can give it a little creamy feel and look to your taco spaghetti. But yeah, oh, don't that look good? Look at that cream cheese up in there. Ooh, baby. That cream cheese be the bomb, baby. Do the people still use that word? The bomb? It be the bomb. No, they be talking about it. That ate. And some of them children be talking about. I'm like, yeah, I did eat. And they be like, Mama, we're not talking about that. I'm like, y'all be using words. Child, we use them words and too, but we just use it for different definitions. Anyway, so you just give it a good stir. And I was looking for my parsley. I had some parsley. So listen, when my husband cooks, he goes in the cabinet and he start removing stuff that I don't be needing him to remove. Okay. Well, I think he threw away my parsley, but he said he didn't. So I was just gonna put some on top because it gives it a little good taste on top. But I couldn't find it. So that's why I just added some more. You'll see me adding some more of the Uncle Chris on top. But I was trying to add some parsley on top because I like the little taste that they put on top. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. And then also you're gonna put the quesadilla. I can't speak. Tequila Talks. I added a little bit of that on there. Have y'all had that cheese before? Girl, that cheese is good. It's really good. You need to try it, okay? So I added a little bit of that on top, just a little bit, just to give it a little different little flavor, kind of like if you was eating a quesadilla. It really is good. I mean, again, the whole meal is supposed to be like a Mexican style, so it's a taco. It's not the same type of spaghetti that we always make, so you gotta do a little something different, okay? So anyway, I put that in there and I kind of gave it another stir so it can, get all in. But girl, that cheese be the bomb. Like I be making that with my nachos sometimes. Like the chili nachos that I had on here. Y'all gotta go back and see my video. Like the chili nachos, I use that. Not the con queso dip nachos. That's totally different. But like the chili nachos where you make chili and then put shredded cheese on top. Oh, girl, it be so good. And I also use it sometimes when I make the nachos with the beef. And you just put one on each chip. Oh, girl, it be good. I'll do a video of that. I'm going to do that next week. How about that? But yes, okay. So right now, again, I told you I was looking for my parsley, but I couldn't find it. So, and I didn't even have no fresh parsley. So I'm just going to put the Uncle Chris put a little bit at the top, give it a little bit more seasoning. You understand what I'm saying? Look, you taste test your food and see. You might. I don't cook. Listen, I don't really cook with salt. When I do cook with salt, I don't put too much because I'm not really a salt person. So you didn't see me add salt. You may want to add salt to yours, okay? Some people probably want to add salt, not me. Okay, so I just put a little Uncle Chris on there. So anyway, yeah, so that's really pretty much it. Again, I probably would have added a little bit more water, and I probably would have added a whole container of the fresh pico because I like a lot of the pico in there. It didn't have enough for me. Like I would have had it because I only had a half of one. I had to use half of it for another meal. So I probably would have used a whole one and some onions, like to give it that good taco, feeling. So I feel like I didn't have enough of that. But other than that, it really did come out, really good. The kids liked it. My husband liked it too. I made him some tuna steaks and corn and rice. So we was supposed to just eat fish this week, but I was making the spaghetti for us to use that for like with our lunches, something quick and easy to take to lunch with you. And then we were just going to do fish this week. Like today, I'll probably make some salmon, like some. Okay, so this is it, guys. This is the taco spaghetti. I'm trying it. It tastes really good. You guys ought to try it. I can write down the ingredients, but you can see it in the beginning of the video there. I got some pictures of it, but it really is good. And then, okay, of course you gotta get you some tequila. I didn't show that part, but you gotta get you some tequila with taco spaghetti. I mean, it really is good. Again, I probably would have just added some more water and a little bit more pico, and then for real, it's really good. Just try it. Don't knock it till you try it. Okay, I hope you guys liked it. My video, please like and subscribe. and send to your friends. Make a comment. Hope to see you guys soon in more of my videos. Tequila Talks. All right.